Way TV, a show created for the youth, by the youth. I'm Precious Taylor. I'm here today with the founder and executive director of the Love Institute, Cosette Israel. Thank you for coming out today.
Thank you for having me.
So could you tell us, what is the Love Institute?
The Love Institute is a youth agency that focuses on providing college and career readiness for at-risk and economically challenged young people. And so our secret sauce is really probably social emotional competence, good citizenship, and academic and career success, all to help young people achieve a level of economic freedom so that they can have what they want in their lives. The work was really created as a result of a report I read in probably 2010 that said that 75 million young people would fall into a transition care that said that they would be permanently poor because they lacked higher skilled education and secondary skilled education. Our work really exists to interrupt that. And so I have a commitment in all of the work that we do to really support young people, particularly social and emotional. And I think that's probably the thing that makes us distinct or different from other agencies. While most agencies really focus on college and career readiness, we really focus on social and emotional competence as the foundation for our work.
Could you tell us about yourself and what inspired you to found the Love Institute?
It's a great question. Mostly, I'm inspired by my parents. My mother grew up in the South. My father is an immigrant. He was a Haitian revolutionary, right? So I have a tendency to fight for the underdog, people who can't fight for themselves. He was born in the season in which Duvalier, or Baby Doc, was in power, and he led the student revolt. And so I have this fight in me that comes from my father, and then a sensibility that comes from my mother, who I adore. It's so interesting, right? Because growing up, I used to say, oh, I don't want to be like my mother, right? Of course, I'm just like my mother in the way I deal with young people. I think what inspired me, I was working as a leadership coach for Landmark Education. It's one of the top training and development companies in the world. And I had a really good success with training leaders and unlocking their potential. But there was a point at which I lost my why, right? I had a marketing company, and I've worked with Walmart and all kinds of wonderful companies, Hewitt Associates, Aon, you name it. I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of great companies. But I had lost my why. And I can remember like yesterday, I was sitting in a luncheon that was then headed by the then head of DCFS. And in his luncheon, he said, the issue that I'm having is my kids don't have social emotional competence. Now he's talking about foster kids, right? Not having social emotional competence. Well, that year I had written a book called Journey to My Better Self and took 15 women through an inside out transformation. And the results were amazing. And every woman said, I learned how to manage my emotions, and I also now understood my social circle differently, like how to have my social circle really empower me to fulfill on what I was committed to. It was so great because he took a meeting with me, and I promise you in 6 months I had 150 kids in a program. I didn't have a nonprofit. I didn't even think about social services. And that's how the Love, Unity, and Values Institute got born.
I really like that answer. Could you tell us a little bit about your online campaign, Help the Violence?
It's called Halt the Violence with $1 for Love. No, it's perfectly fine. It's called Halt the Violence with $1 for Love. And we really, with so many social services agencies being impacted by the budget impasse, we saw that we were not able to serve as many kids as we actually wanted to. So as a result, we said, you know what, it's time for us to partner with the community. And a lot of amazing things happened, right? People started donating online. But more so, people started coming to us for our restorative practice work. We are now partnering with the Chicago Police Department, We are partnering with the Aldermanic wards, particularly 4th and 3rd, to now really design a summer safety program. These are things that, I never would have dreamed that Halt the Violence with $1 for Love would have transitioned and made available for us. You know what? It was interesting because it's a good question. So it's an acronym, Love, Unity, and Values. And what was interesting is, people used to say, what's the Love Institute? And but it started making us say, well, what's love got to do with it? Well, part of the reason why we have so much violence in the world is because there's not enough love. And in our programs, what we embed in subtly is not only love, but the unifying body, community, and how to make choices that are based on your values. I think that's probably why that love, the Love Institute is such an important piece now. And now I find myself becoming a lot bolder about, using that as a banner, the Love Institute. So we have the love movement. And so I try to use love wherever there's an opportunity.
Thank you so much for your responses and your time. It was a pleasure having you today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
But that's all the time we have for today. I'm Precious Taylor, and this is Miss Way TV, a show created for the youth, by the youth. Thank you for tuning in.